Last week we have noticed a very interesting pattern: red, green, red, green, red, green. And now many of you might be thinking or might be assuming that the next candle on Monday will be a red candle. So there is no 100% confirmation that this candle on Monday will be a red candle. And there are multiple valid technical and non-technical reasons. And out of these many reasons, the most important reason is the 6333/37 zone. And because of this zone, the S&P 500 had managed to give a bullish candle yesterday on Friday, which otherwise was not possible. But it's not just about this zone, but is also about the 61.8% of the fib retracement level that was at 6345. And the S&P 500 was rejected from this level on Tuesday. And the S&P 500 was rejected within the first half from this, the level and the zone created by the resistance level that was there. And because of this intraday failure, it was very much clear for the rest of the day this is the 6345 and this little zone will be the high of the day, okay, the maximum in the bull side. And the same logic was applicable on Wednesday, but you will notice that on Wednesday the S&P 500 gained the 6333/37 zone and also closed at 6345.06. In this manner, on Wednesday, the S&P 500 came into a heavy bullish condition after sustaining and closing above these two. That is why from the Wednesday onwards, I mentioned to my Patreon community members that now the S&P 500 is or will be looking for the all-time high that we are expecting in the 646X, because it has cleared these two hurdles, the 6333/37 zone and the 6345 61.8% fib retracement level. And exactly the same I have mentioned in this update here to my Patreon community members, that the most important part of this heavy bullish movement, okay, on Wednesday, that if today on Wednesday it sustains above, okay, the 6345, okay, slash means this is the small zone, by the end of the day, then tomorrow onwards, means Thursday onwards, it will be on its bullish journey towards 646X range, which is expected to be the all-time high of the season. However, if you notice, on Thursday the closing was 6340. This closing 6340 was above the 6333/37 zone, has further confirmed that the S&P 500 is ready for the 646X range, which is expected to be the all-time high of the season. And because yesterday the S&P 500 sustained and came into the open equal to low condition, moved up, okay, although we knew that it is expected to struggle and to remain in the 638X. So it was clear that now S&P 500 is not going to come down. Any fall will be limited to the 636X. Okay, so now it is moving towards the 646X range, which we are anticipating to be the all-time high of the season. Now, why I was saying that the next candle on Monday may not be a red candle, okay, so there are reasons other than these 6333 and so, and I am going to discuss all of these reasons in detail in this S&P 500 weekly technical analysis. And if you are thinking that S&P 500 will hit the 646X in the next week, then you must understand last time when it was 614X, okay, so S&P 500 took 5 months, and then when it came near to 614X, then it took 2 months before it actually hit the 614X. So do not think that it will move up and it will hit, okay, it may form a new all-time high, but an exact hit to 646X might not happen in the next week, okay, it can still take time. It depends, because once it hits the 646X, then there will be just the downward movement. So guys, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And if you want to get these daily precise updates of the S&P 500 every day from Monday through Friday, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. And guys, let me tell you that recently I have started to give the short-term opportunities in the stocks. Okay, means within 1 to 2 days you will have to enter and exit. Okay, So it was like, so every day I'm giving 3, 5 or 6. In the previous week I have given, I think, 18 to 20 opportunities. Okay, so when I say opportunities, I mean this kind of explicit recommendation to buy, okay, or sell, support or buying price, okay, target price, and then the stop loss, okay, or these the conditions. Now, guys, let me tell you that I have divided this S&P 500 weekly technical analysis in 3 parts. First part is the weekly chart. I will discuss the weekly chart. Weekly chart is still bullish, heavily bullish, like 90% bullish, means the trend is bullish. Second part, I will discuss the daily chart. Daily chart means the short-term picture. Short-term picture, we are seeing a reversal or retrace, but there will be a problem and we are expecting a little fall. Okay. Third part is the probable movement. Okay, so just like last week I mentioned, okay, that there will be a bearish condition, it will come down in this manner, then there will be a bullish movement. Okay, bullish movement, the condition is this, and the bullish movement will be heavily rely on or will heavily depend on the 63337. Above this range means towards 646x. Okay, as long as it is trading below this the zone, okay, the 6200, it will defend the 6200. So this kind of probable movement. Now I am going to begin with the weekly chart. So guys, this is the weekly chart. Weekly chart means one candle represents 1 week, not 1 day or 1 hour. Okay. Now let's first analyze the candle itself. So if you notice pattern, okay, I will discuss the pattern later. First, the candle. If you notice, the candle is in the open equal to low condition. Open price was 6271.71. okay, this was the open price. Okay, and this the same was the low price that was seen on Monday, and since Monday it was in this condition. Closing was 6389.45 and the high was 6395. Closing is around the high of the candle. Okay, all of this indicates that it's a heavy bullish candle indicating bullish sentiments. Okay, and is also indicating a gap up open, okay, on Monday, or irrespective of any open and initial or intraday bullish movement on Monday. And guys, remember this 6271.71, it was the key for the bullishness in the previous week. That is why in my midweek update, this video technical analysis on 6th of August, okay, I mentioned this clearly to my Patreon community member, okay, that any fall will be limited to this, and not just to this, any fall will be limited to 6 to 8x. S&P 500 will defend strongly, okay, the 6 to 8x, so that it cannot or it will not come into the 6271, okay, this condition, and it defended, okay, and it moved up. Now the Dow Jones, the weekly candle of the Dow Jones, same condition, open equal to low condition in the Dow Jones, the weekly candle, but it's not as heavy as the candle, the weekly candle of the S&P 500 was. Okay, that is why this candle is not indicating a gap up open, rather it is just indicating an initial or intraday bullish movement on Monday. That's it. So considering both of these are candles and initial or intraday bullish movement. Now the problem, okay, problem you will notice in both of these the cases, especially in the S&P 500, the problem is very much clear and very much visible. What is the problem? Now those who have some knowledge of or some good knowledge of the market, they might think that it's a bullish sandwich pattern. Okay, yes, it looks like a bullish sandwich pattern. Okay, this was bullish candle, then this is the bullish candle, and in between these two there is the red, the bearish candle. However, if you notice, if you understand the open, closing, and the high and the low prices, okay, of these three candles, then you will see that high of this candle was 6395.82, okay, open was 6397. So this candle has completely engulfed the previous weekly candle. Because of this absolute engulfing, there was supposed to be the pressure on the market. This was natural, okay, but because of Apple announced $100 billion, okay, then Apple moved up heavily, and then the tariffs, okay, a little, a few flip-flops and all of these, because of the heavy volatility, the technical result was not realized. It is very much clear because the open equal to low condition was seen. This was not supposed to be there in the picture. Open equal to low condition was not supposed to happen because of this heavy absolute bearish engulfing, especially on the weekly chart. Okay, now this is one part. Now this the last weekly candle, this one. Okay, the high of the candle was 6395.16. Open of this candle was 6397. Okay, so where is the bullish sandwich pattern? There is no bullish sandwich pattern. For the bullish sandwich to happen, okay, at least the high or the open or the closing of the candle must clear the high, open, okay, or the closing, or sorry, this the this the price. In this case, both of these candles, this candle and this candle, the candle for the week of 21st of July and the candle for the week of 4th of August, okay, this is the previous week, both of these candles have failed, okay, to clear the open price. Forget about the high, the open price of this heavy red candle. Okay, so there is no bullish sandwich. The bullish movement that we are expecting, like a gap up open might not happen at all. Okay, yes, an initial or intraday bullish movement will be there. This is what we know. Okay, the stocks that were pushing the market up, primarily Apple. Okay, yesterday Apple was like almost 5% up. Day before that it was like 2% or 1% up. Before that it was 6% up. Apple has also maxed out. It is also it is maxed out. Okay, so now Apple is going to lose. Apple is going to cool down. Okay, Google is going to cool down a little. Only Microsoft can help. Because of these factors, okay, the S&P 500 is in a condition wherein more bullish movement, okay, means it might not get the required bullish momentum. Okay, because of which the next candle through the pattern on the daily chart, okay, red, green, red, green, red, green, and now red. Okay, so there are good chances that we can see a red candle in that pattern on Monday, but this will be confirmed, or it will be more clear, okay, on the daily chart. Okay, so this is the failure. This is the failure. Okay, now how or when the S&P 500 can come out of this heavy bearishness? Okay, so there is a very simple condition. So before I discuss that condition, guys, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And so far, if you have liked this video, then hit like to appreciate, and your appreciation matters a lot. And if you want to get these daily precise updates of the S&P 500, Dow Jones, and in a manner to the entire US stock market, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. Recently, I have also started to give the daily stock opportunities with explicit setups. Okay, recommendation, target price, buy, sell price, etc. So now, in order to come out of that condition, okay, the S&P 500 must give at least one daily closing above the high of this candle, that was 6427.02. At least one daily closing. If there comes no daily closing, okay, no daily closing above the high of this candle, okay, problem. Okay, we can see another heavy red candle. Okay, so there is one more thing. Okay, it is also about the open price. Okay, so there must also come there must also come a closing, a daily closing above the open price, that was 6397.69, 6397.69. okay, so this will be the very first condition, and this will be the then second condition. Now so the same is there, but in case of the Dow Jones, it's very much clear. If you notice, it was in open equal to high condition, and now the closing of the candle is below the 50% mark of this, the heavy candle. Okay, so initial or intraday bullishness can happen in Dow Jones, no gap up. Okay, and there are more chances that there will be some pressure, okay, and then probably a fall. Okay, now it will be clear through the technical indicators. So in terms of the technicals, S&P 500 is bullish through the Ichimoku cloud. through the moving averages, through the Bollinger Bands on the weekly chart. S&P 500 is bullish through the MACD on the weekly chart and is bearish through the stochastic RSI on the weekly chart. Neither saturated nor overbought. None of these are conditions. S&P 500 is 90% bullish on the weekly chart. Okay, now Dow Jones, let's see if the Dow Jones is or not, because Dow Jones, if you notice, it is bullish through the Ichimoku cloud, through the moving averages, through the Bollinger Bands on the weekly chart, and the Dow Jones is bullish through the MACD on the weekly chart and is bearish through the stochastic RSI on the weekly chart. So Dow Jones is not 90, Dow Jones is 80% bullish on the weekly chart. What does this mean, 80% bullish on the weekly chart or 90% bullish on the weekly chart? This means that the trend is bullish. The long-term trend is bullish. Okay, and it is not just bullish, it is heavily bullish. Heavily bullish, right? That is why I am saying that once on Wednesday, okay, when the S&P 500 cleared and sustained and closed above 63337 zone, then it was very much clear, and here I mentioned to my Patreon community members that now it will be on its bullish journey towards 646x range. Actually, there is a zone, a small zone. Okay, it will be that small zone will be the all-time high. Okay. However, it will not be this simple, because just again, okay, so again I in the midweek update also I mentioned, if you notice, this was the high on 2nd of December. Okay, the S&P 500 made 2nd of December. This was the high it made on 21st of January, and finally it was in the week of 18th of February, exactly it was 19th of February, when the S&P 500 hit 614x and made an all-time high, and that was okay, the all-time high, and then we have seen around 20% fall. Okay, so before that we have seen that it took 2 months, okay, and it came down, and at one point of time it was like that it may not hit, okay, but we were sure that it will hit. Then again it moved up, okay, then it came down, then it moved up, and finally, so it took 2 months. Okay, in the present case, if you notice, it's not even a month. It's not even a month. If you notice, it was just one down, okay, and then it's not just even a month, right? So that is why there is no guarantee, no confirmation that in the next week it will hit the 646x, which is we are expecting the all-time high. Now, because of this heavy fall, yes, there is one more addition. That addition is 649x. Okay, so there are 90% chances that the 646x will be the all-time high, 10% chances that 649x will be the all-time high. Okay, only because of this candle. Otherwise 646x was 100% there. Okay, but guys, whatever is going to happen or whatever will happen, I will keep you posted, I will keep you updated, okay, through these daily precise updates. And it's not just about the daily precise updates that I give to my Patreon community members, but recently I've also started to give 3 to 5 or 3 to 7 opportunities every day, okay, with the explicit recommendation to buy at this price. Okay, this will be the stop loss, this will be the target price. Okay, these are the short-term opportunities, means the day you enter, either you can book your profits the same day or the next day. So these are the short-term opportunities in the stocks with the explicit recommendations. And that's not all, but I also give the midweek update to my Patreon community member. This is a video technical analysis, okay, and it is generally given every Wednesday, where I discuss all of these conditions, okay, bullish, bearish, with the specific levels, numbers, okay, and the movement of the market is seen, okay, in that particular manner. So guys, if you also want to get these daily precise updates, okay, as well as the stock market opportunities every day, and the midweek update, then you can join my Patreon community, and I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. And when you follow that link, then you will see that this is my Patreon page, and this is my Patreon profile, and here you will notice there is a button. This button says see membership options. Okay, when you click on this button, the see membership options, then you will see that there are these 3 levels: level 1, level 2, and level 3. Okay, now in level 1 and level 2, you will be getting all midweek update videos, okay, every week on Wednesday, daily SP500 analysis updates, movement and zones, and the stock market opportunities. Okay, This is the level 3. Level 3 you will get, okay, whatever you are going to get in level 1 and level 2. Along with that, there will be a one-on-one Zoom video meeting, one-on-one, just me and you in that Zoom video meeting. And through that Zoom video meeting, I will discuss and I will give you, okay, all of these, the strategies. I will teach you the strategies, premium hacks with a very high accuracy, strategies with high accuracy, modified technical indicators, and the calculator, options premium calculator, okay, and much more. So this is the level 3. And guys, if you notice, many people have joined my Patreon community for last many days, weeks, months, years, and they are getting these daily precise updates every day from Monday through Friday, the mid week update, everything. Okay, they know and they are very well aware of what is happening. Okay, what will happen. Okay, the low and the high, the zones, the levels, exact numbers. So guys, whenever you want to join my Patreon community, I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. You can follow that link and you can join my Patreon community, and you are welcome. Now guys, I'm going to discuss the second point, okay, of the agenda, and this is the daily chart. Daily chart means one candle represents one day, not 1 week or 1 hour. One candle means one day. Now, let's first analyze the candle. Okay. If you notice this, the last candle, it was in the open equal to low condition, indicating bullishness. Okay. The closing price the closing price was near to the high of the candle, but was below the high of the previous candle. Okay, so this was the problem. So this is indicating bullishness on Monday, means an initial or intraday bullish movement on Monday, but a gap up open cannot be confirmed. Now let's analyze the Dow Jones, the last candle of the Dow Jones. Dow Jones barely sustained bullish, barely. Okay, just a normal bullish candle, does not indicating any, or this candle does not indicate an initial or intraday bullish movement. This candle is not indicating actually anything, means the movement in the Dow Jones will be as per the market. Whatever is happening in the SP500 Nasdaq, it will follow that. Okay, so this candle is simply neutral, it is not indicating anything. Okay, and if you compare this candle with the candle formed on 7th of August, then you will notice the 7th of August it was very heavy bearish candle. On 8th of August it was just inside this candle, very little movement. So actually it is not just neutral but is also bearish in nature. So a gap up or gap down is not confirmed, but an initial or intraday bullish movement, that too with some struggle. With some struggle, this is what can be seen or what can be confirmed through the Dow Jones. Okay, bullishness through the S&P 500 and struggle through the Dow Jones. Okay, now yes, the pattern. Okay, red, green, red, green, red, green, this pattern. So before I discuss the pattern, guys, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And so far, if you have liked this video, then hit like to appreciate, and your appreciation matters a lot. And if you want to join my Patreon community for the daily precise analysis updates movement of the S&P 500, then I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. Problem in this pattern comes through this candle that was on Monday on 28th of July, because this was the open price of the weekly candle, okay, for this the last to last week, right? So unless there comes a closing, one daily closing above the open price of this candle, 6397.69, 6397.69, there won't be any bullishness. Yes, intraday it is definitely possible that S&P 500 can breach this mark, can sustain above this mark, but I am talking about the closing. It must close, because if it breaches, moves above, but eventually it comes down and closes below this mark, then there will be no bullishness, just a bearishness, just a fall. That's it. Okay. So it will be very much clear in the first hour on Monday. Okay. If there will be any confusion, then okay, after 3 hours when I will give the midday update, it will be very much clear whether there will be a closing above this price or not. Okay, based on that, it will be very much clear whether there will be a red candle or a green candle. Okay, now one more thing, I forgot to discuss the technicals. Technicals are very important. So S&P 500 is bullish through the moving averages, through the Bollinger Bands, and through the Ichimoku cloud on the daily chart. S&P 500 is bearish through the MACD on the daily chart. It is bullish through the stochastic RSI on the daily chart. Okay, so only negative factor here is the MACD, neither overbought nor saturated. Okay, so S&P 500 will be seen or considered as 80% bullish on the daily chart. Okay, there will be a fear from the MACD, because MACD can trigger a sudden fall. Okay, so it is 80% bullish through the technicals. Dow Jones, now the technicals of the Dow Jones is not good, because Dow Jones is bullish through the Ichimoku cloud, okay, on the daily chart, but it is bearish through the Bollinger Bands on the daily chart and is neutral through the moving averages on the daily chart. And Dow Jones is also bearish through the MACD and is also bearish through the stochastic RSI on the daily chart. Dow Jones is really bad. It means it is in a bad shape, because three technical indicators are clearly bearish. One is neutral, one is bullish. So Dow Jones is more bearish. So Dow Jones is like 60% bearish on the daily chart. But the most important part of this bearishness is that the MACD is moving average convergence divergence, MACD, as well as the stochastic RSI, both of these technical indicators are bearish on the daily chart. There is a fear of sudden and heavy fall. Whenever there will be confusion, there will be a fall. Okay, bullish movement there will be struggle in the bullish movement because of this combination. So on the one hand, the S&P 500 is 80% bullish, whereas on the other hand, the Dow Jones is 60% bearish. Okay, on the weekly chart, we have seen that Dow Jones was 80% bullish. Okay, whereas S&P 500 was 90% bullish. This means that now this bullishness or this recovery that we are seeing, it might not be realized much or more. Okay, means the 646X might not come into the picture in the next week, in the coming week. Rather, market might need to wait for some more time and will have to give a little more fall, okay, or another cycle of this, the bearish movement, before it can actually try for 646X. This picture will be very, very much clear on Monday. Based on the movement, based on the momentum, based on the closing on Monday, it will be very much clear that if there are any chances for the 646X to be seen in this week or not. So in the midday update and in the final update, okay, I will clear this thing, whether there are any chances or not. Okay, because as of now, S&P 500 is struggling. Okay, it's not just about this red green. Okay, you must also look into the numbers and the closings and the open prices that I've discussed in detail on the weekly chart. So this means that there are more chances for a break, okay, or a fall. Okay, and there are limited chances for the bullish movement, even though the candles are indicating the bullishness. So I will discuss this in the next point of the agenda, that is the probable movement. But before that, I have this information to share with you, that this is my S&P 500 knowledge transfer program. Through this program, whatever I know, whatever I have learned, whatever means my experience, I will share with you. I will share with you that knowledge so that you can become self-reliant for the rest of your life. And you can trade confidently and comfortably, okay, based on the knowledge, okay, that I will share with you. So in this, okay, I will share with you the basics and the advanced of the stock market, all of the modified technical indicators. I'll help you set up your charts. Okay, I'll share with you the trading strategies. Okay, these trading strategies has very high accuracy and are different from what you have learned through, or through articles. Then the market analysis, how to analyze the market, okay, and how to recognize the manipulation, how to convert the manipulated traps into opportunities. Then the options, okay, the basics of the options and the advanced of the options, okay, and the calculations, option premium calculator, how to use, how to calculate, okay, how to know the past, present, future of a stock or an index, support and resistance levels for next 5 years, okay, price prediction, like I predicted 614X will be the all-time high, okay, then it came down, so 482X, 479X will be the low and the reversal. So low was there was a reversal. Now I am saying 646X. So that kind of price prediction. Then the hacks, hacks with very high accuracy. Okay, even I use these hacks in my everyday analysis and everyday updates, okay, that I give to my Patreon community members. And these are some terms and conditions. These are the snapshots of the meetings. So guys, whenever you want to participate in this program in order to learn everything and want to trade confidently and want to become self-reliant, okay, then you can simply send me an email. This is my email address, okay. And also I've given the link to this Google spreadsheet in the description of the video and also in the comment section. Now guys, I'm going to discuss the third and the last point of the agenda of this S&P 500 weekly technical analysis. And here I will give you the probable movement. Probable movement means what is going to happen in the S&P 500 and in a manner in the entire US stock market in the next week. So see, last week was blank in terms of data or earnings. Okay, so blank week means bullish. Okay, so this is the general theory, okay, that whenever there will be a blank week, then mostly the market will remain bullish. Last week we have seen that the market was bullish. But now in the coming week, on Tuesday, the inflation data, okay, CPI, core CPI data, inflation data will be released. Then finally on Friday, the retail sales data will be released. However, the picture will be very much clear on Tuesday itself. Tuesday, before the open of the stock market, the inflation data will be released and we will come to know whether there are any chances for the rate cuts, okay, or if the rate cuts will be further delayed. Because now the market is anticipating that there will be a next rate cut in the month of September, but still there is no confirmation. Okay, so these are the two events. So next week is not blank. Okay, the most important event is on Tuesday. This means that Monday is blank. Okay, Monday is blank means that if the market want to remain bullish, want to trade bullish and want to fulfill the conditions of the bullishness, then Monday is the day. Okay, it can use Monday to do so. Okay, especially what? Especially, okay, the S&P 500 must, I'm saying must, I'm not saying that it should or it will. I'm saying it must clear, sustain and must keep on closing, hourly closings, and also the final closing must come the higher, open of this candle, that was 6397.69. okay, this condition, this must happen on Monday. Okay, why it must happen on Monday? Because if you notice that on Friday the high was 6395, it failed to test and hit this level, but on Monday even a slight bullish movement will test this number 6397.69. okay, once it hits this number, this means that now it is in a compulsion to give a closing above this number, which was the open seen on 28th of July, last week. Okay, now if on Monday, if the S&P 500 successfully it manages to close above this number, this means that now there are chances, not 100%, but there are chances that it will also breach and will close above the all-time high, which was recently 6427.02. okay, that it has now the potential and to test and to hit and to breach and to close above this mark, because a closing above 6427.02 opens 646x range. Okay, this range where we are expecting an all-time high of the S&P 500, but it is not as simple, okay, as it may look like. Why? Look at the Dow Jones. Dow Jones is struggling to move up. Now MACD is bearish, stochastic RSI, technicals are also bearish. Okay, this heavy bearish candle, okay, this limited bullishness, Dow Jones is struggling. Without the help of the Dow Jones, S&P 500 is simply bluffing. It's S&P 500 is bluffing in a manner. This movement is not sustainable. This movement cannot be trusted, because we might see this kind of heavy fall within 1 to 2 days and then everything is gone or everything will be gone. So this means that for the bullishness to happen, the Dow Jones must also support the bullish movement. Okay, now when I say support the bullish movement, means the Dow Jones must also close above the high of this candle, that was 44,498, 498.43. Dow Jones must also sustain and close above the high of this candle. Only when the Dow Jones sustains and closes above the high of this candle, entire market will get a bullish boost, and there will be chances that S&P 500 can also close above the 6427.02, which is the all-time high, and move towards this the expected all-time high. Okay, in this week itself, rather than waiting for 2 weeks or 2 months. Okay, this means that Dow Jones Dow Jones will play a very important role. However, if Dow Jones fails, it remains below in this manner, it never able to close above this one. This means S&P 500 is not going to 646x range. It will have to wait for 1 to 2 weeks. Okay, maybe in the September or October it will move towards this the 646x. Okay, now it's not just about okay these two or three, but also you must understand that in the 640x, okay, is my heavy resistance level that has earlier restricted the bullish movement for 2 days. Okay, so the S&P 500 must, okay, when it clears, sustains and closes above 6397.69, then it must also give at least one closing above 640x, my calculated resistance level, else it won't be of any use, because then S&P 500 will not be moving towards 6427. Now if it manages to close above 640x, then comes the 642x. Okay, this 642x is near to 6427. Okay, but it will struggle. Okay, I'm not saying a closing, it will struggle. Okay, for 1 to 2 days we can see that S&P 500 is struggling around this level. Okay, so bullish side, it may look like that S&P 500 is like just 1% from here, okay, towards the 646x, but in order to cover this 1%, S&P 500 might take 1 month or 2 months. Why? Again and again I have shown you, okay, on the weekly chart also, that back in February, okay, in December the S&P 500 hit 6100, but it was then in February, after 2 months, when the S&P 500 actually hit 614x. So you can see from 6100 to 6614x, okay, S&P 500 took 2 months. It was just 1%, but still it took 2 months. S&P 500 took more than 2 months to hit the 614x. So I hope the bullish side is clear. Okay, so bullish side will remain heavy. Okay, will remain heavily conditional. One more thing that I also mentioned, and this is the 646x, 649x. 90% chances are there, 90%, that 646x will be the all-time high. 10% chances are that 649x will be the all-time high. Okay, why 649x? Because of this heavy fall, okay, it has opened some conditions that are indicating 649x. Otherwise 90% chances 646x will be there. For the QQQ is the ETF of the Nasdaq. Okay, 58x, this range is expected to be the all-time high of the QQQ. Okay, so now I have disclosed for the QQQ and the S&P 500, so now picture will be very much clear, right? Yeah, bullish side. For the bearish side, yes, definitely, okay, if the S&P 500 want to come down, it can come down, not a problem. This time even it can lose the 6200. Okay, then again a reversal, it will try for this same. Okay, so in this manner it can spend time, it can not spend, but it can waste time. But what we know is that the bearish side will not be triggered, will not happen until and unless there comes a closing below this my calculated support zone. Okay, this zone, okay, I have started to mention, okay, in previous 2 or 3 weekly technical analysis, because generally I do not disclose my numbers. Okay, this zone, you have seen the magic of this zone. Okay, on Wednesday and Thursday closing was above the zone. On Wednesday it was closing above the zone, it was clear moving towards 6406, that the range. Okay, bearish movement will be handled at or by the 6333/37. Even if there comes a little breach intraday, there will be a recovery. Okay, last time there was the cluster of moving averages, and because of that the S&P 500 lost the 6333/37, okay, and came down to 632x. Why? Because there were the moving averages, a lot of moving averages that were attracting the S&P 500 towards the 63 the 2x. Okay, this where the cluster of the moving averages was. That is why again and again I have mentioned that S&P 500 will now keep on trading around 632x, okay, or 6333/37. Okay, this is what the technicals are indicating, and technically S&P 500 must remain around here. So on Thursday S&P 500 came down but kept on hovering, kept on trading around these two, and eventually closed above 6333/37. So yes guys, I forgot to mention that if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And so far, if you have liked this video, then hit like to appreciate, and your appreciation matters a lot. And if you want to get these daily precise updates of the S&P 500, Dow Jones, and in a manner to the entire US stock market every day from Monday through Friday, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. And guys, once again, let me remind you that now I have started to give the short-term opportunities in the stocks, okay, wherein you need to enter and exit within 1 to 2 days or 1 to 3 days and to book your profits. So I was discussing the 6333/37. This means that any fall in the S&P 500 will be limited to the zone. Now problem will happen when the S&P 500 loses and gives at least one daily closing below 6333/37. Because once the S&P 500 closes below 6333/37, then it opens the door to what? Then the door is open to 6200. Okay, why 6200? Because 1, 2, 3. 3 times the S&P 500 has defended the 6200. Okay, so from 6333/37, the door will be open to 6200, and this situation will not change. Okay, unless the S&P 500 gives a closing back above 6333/37 or closes below 6200. If it closes below 6200, then perfect. Okay, then it will be coming down to the previous all-time high, that is 6147, and to my calculated heavy support level, that is in the 604x 5x. Okay, there is a small zone in the 4x 5x. Okay, eventually it will be coming down to that. Okay, in this manner the S&P 500 will form a pattern that will look like okay, so down, up, then down, okay, and then again a bounce back, move up. If it sustains, defends the 6200, then it will move up from here again. Okay, move up from here towards what? Because it is still looking for the 646x. It will keep on looking for the 646x irrespective of anything. Last time it took 2 months. Okay, this time it's been like 2 weeks, only 2 weeks. Okay, so we can still wait. Like it may happen, it may take until the next FOMC meeting, until the September. Okay, mid of the September, you can say, right? Well, this will be more clear, but again we need to consider, okay, this case on the week by week basis. Okay, so on this Monday, on August 11th, okay, I will clear and I will confirm whether there are any chances for the 646x in this week or not. Okay, and if not, if it is going to come down, then we'll have to wait for the end of August for the same. Okay, this kind of condition. So now, yeah, so in this manner what we know is that 6200, 6333/37, 6427.02. This is the all-time high. This is the calculated heavy support and resistance zone. This is the psychological mark that the S&P 500 was defending. Picture will be very much clear through the Dow Jones, whether S&P 500 has any more potential to move up or it will simply come down. Because if the Dow Jones clears, sustains, closes above this mark, this is the high of the candle, definitely S&P 500 has the reasons to move towards 6427.02 and can even breach and can form a new all-time high, not a problem. But a hit to 646x, it will not be that easy. It will always be conditional, and S&P 500 will again and again show reluctance whenever it moves towards, it reaches near to this. Okay, so 6333 here. Okay, yes, before that, the open price of this candle, okay, if the S&P 500 is never able to close above the open price of this candle, that was 6397.69, in that case there will be no more bullishness, rather it will be coming down to test the 6333.37. during the first test it will hold. Even if there comes a breach, it will retrace back, sustain. First time. Second time it tests, yes, it can lose. Second time, if it loses, then it will be coming down. Okay, when it will be coming down, then the 6200 will be open. Okay, although there is a very strong support, okay, in the 6200 range. Okay, this strong support comes in 6 to 3x/4x here. Okay, it will come down to here again, then from here it can try to move up. Okay, so the volatility which you were thinking, or which you are thinking that it is gone, it is out of the picture, no, it is not out of the picture, it is not gone. Okay, volatility is there, it will remain into the picture, tariffs are there, impact of the tariffs will be there. Okay, 646x is still pending. Okay, 58x in the QQQ is still pending. Okay, and the market is moving up against the tariffs, against that, okay, the non-technical factors which earlier in April it has failed, but still it is trying to. So this kind of movements, red, green, red, okay, and then red, back to back fall, or so there will be, these kind of conflicting movements, okay, confusing these movements. This will remain into the picture, okay, until and unless it hits the 646x, so that the bullish chapter is closed permanently. Okay, and now it is clear that it will come down, or the President Trump says something, okay, and that is and he never takes his or he never changes this tone, or until the mid of September, when the FOMC will be, okay, FOMC decision will be there. These are the three things, okay, three possible scenarios which can actually cool down the volatility. And when I say volatility, I'm not talking about VIX. VIX is a volatility index. I'm not talking about VIX. I'm saying market volatility, the fear, the greed in the market, that kind of volatility, because of which we have seen unexpected open equal to high, open equal to low, then red, green, this kind of, okay, these kind of conditions. But again, you need not to worry about anything if you are my Patreon community member, because every day I'm giving these updates and you are very well aware of this. Okay, what is happening and what is going to happen next. And even if this looks confusing, then that's not a problem, because now I am giving every day 3 to 5 or 7 opportunities, the short-term opportunities in the stocks. So every day you can, if the S&P 500 or the index are not tradable, then you can trade in the stocks every day. Okay, within 1 to 2 days you need to enter and exit. Just book your profits and exit. And if you have not yet joined my Patreon community, then I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. So guys, hit like if you have liked this video, in order to appreciate, and your appreciation matters a lot. And if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And if you have any questions that you want to ask, then please feel free to ask your question through the comment section.